Trend line is a straight line connecting two or more price points in a given time frame. When you look at the market structure, trend line is very much related to support and resistance, and the same principles apply. They complement each other when trading and ensure that you get the better entry. Now, when we talk about the trend line in an uptrend, if you look at the drawing, in order for you to identify it correctly, you have to find common points. So you can see on the drawing, the first point was here, and then the price continued up. When the price came back to the trend line or the trend line area, it respected this price and then continue up. This means that that trend line is valid and it forms your support level. You would anticipate the continuation to come back to your level and then again respect it on and off. Now, when you look at a trend line in a downtrend, situation is very similar. You would then look at the downtrend trend line to find a pivot point where the price was respected in a given time frame, return again and bounce back. This would be your trend line that would form resistance level. When we use our support become resistance and resistance becomes support in a previous chapter, trend lines very much apply over here as well, and they help you to get much better entry. First, you would address and identify the correct trend line. Point 1, point 2. You have your trend line. Now, as we know, the market moves in waves, and in order for the price to move in either direction, any structure will be eventually broken. That includes your trend line. Therefore, we can see the price respected the trend line at the time being twice, and then it broke the structure. When there is a breakout, what do we do? What do we do, guys? We anticipate pullback. Pullback comes in waves to the area of your trend line, and then you look for entry and continuation of the trend. Same situation is in a downtrend. First, you would address the points to draw your trend line like this, point 1, point 2, point 3. You can have a nice straight line. Eventually, you will see that the price breaks that structure, and then you anticipate pullback. Pullback to find the correct entry. This is your trend line, and here is your entry after a breakout. Now, when we look at the chart, let's have a look at the chart to find your trend line and your support becomes resistant. Example. What do we have here? Price respected this area multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eventually, price traveled, respected several times. However, it broke over here. The price broke below the trend line that you've marked, continue sideways, and then blow up all the way to your trend line level again. Now, if you were to have a look on your left, you would notice that there is a resistance level. So when you take your trend line and you apply your resistance level, you can see the confluence, and that would be a good entry for sell. Okay. Now another example, Euro AUD, I believe, Euro Aussie dollar. There you go. Let me just screenshot this for you. All right. First of all, we can see that there is a trend line in an uptrend that is respected multiple times. Okay, so this is your zone, and that would be your support. Okay, support. Now, the other hand, you have the trend line over here where you see the multiple points respected the price downwards. However, you have a breakout of your trend line. You have a breakout over here, okay? You have a breakout over here. Therefore, you would wait for the price to come back to your trend line. And as you can see, what happens here? Breakout, sideways, pull back. This would be your anticipated entry for buy. Okay? Okay, guys, I hope this makes sense. The best way to learn how to draw a trend line properly and how to find then your RBS and SBR is to practice and backtest on the chart. When you continuously do something over and over again, it becomes very habitual. So the more time you spend on the chart and the more time you try and address these areas, you will find that it's going to get easier and easier. Hey, here you go. This is another example, okay? The same currency pair. What do we see over here? First of all, uptrend trend line. Price respected several times, the zone, right? Then, what do we see? Price is going up and down, respecting your trend line all the time. However, there is a breakout. There is a breakout here. Price goes down. What do? We wait for the pullback. Price goes slowly sideways up. And if you notice, you have your SBR, you have your resistance area over here, which is a confluence with your trend line, and you expect to move down. This would be your first entry, and then this would be your second entry down. Okay? Thank you very much.